I'm your host, my son, and welcome back to the shit show. And as usual, America is a shit show. We gotta start off with your boy Donnie. Donnie, the Epstein files. Trump is in trouble. I believe he's in trouble. You know, we've seen these emails come out, Epstein's emails come out that definitely let you know that there's a connection. And it's not just some simple shit. It's not just, oh, I know Epstein. They got some shit going on. People still trying to find out who Bubba is. Epstein's brother came out and said that no, Bill Clinton is not Bubba, but he definitely said that Donald Trump has some dirt. That Epstein had dirt on Donald Trump, and he let him know that. He didn't tell him exactly what it was, but he told him verbatim out his mouth that if people knew what he knew about Donald Trump and the candidates, he said, that there wouldn't even be an election.
Jeffrey, in 2016, I said this publicly before, Jeffrey told me that if he said what he knew about the candidates, they'd have to cancel the election. He didn't tell me what he knew, but Jeffrey definitely had dirt on Trump. And you could see in the emails, Trump could deny it all he wants, but it's pretty clear. I mean, everything Trump says is a lie.
But that's not what you were talking about.
It's provable that he was in Jeffrey's office. He said he wasn't in the house. It's provable he was there. He said everything he says is a lie.
So you take that for what it is. Y'all keep on, the MAGA people going to say, oh, it's a lie, this and that. And the main thing is like, why? Why people want to open Epstein files now? What the Democrats had the files. Democrats had the files. Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith said that dumb shit. Listen to Stephen A.
Gentlemen, keep in mind that the Epstein files were in existence and free to have been opened during the Biden administration. You were there for 4 years. How come you didn't open it as a Democratic Party then? What am I missing?
Loud and wrong. Stephen A. has always, like Stephen, I hate to keep calling you out, but I don't understand why you feel like you need to always defend Donald Trump. This is about pedophilia. Like, this is literally about pedophiles. Why do you feel the need to try to defend anybody with pedophiles? If the Democrats, the Republicans, the yellow, the green, anybody that was involved in Epstein's case, that was taking advantage of kids, should be in jail. If it's a man, they should be castrated. Anybody involved in this case, we don't care who it is. The reason why everyone is saying release the Epstein files is because that was one of the promises in the campaign trail, promises that Donald Trump made out his own mouth. He said he's going to release the Epstein files.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
He constantly said that he had no problem releasing Martin Luther King. He did JFK, but now, because everyone has seen that their emails and everyone said, even the people in his own DOJ said that his name was inside the Epstein files. They know his name is in the Epstein files. So now there's a big issue about it. Now today he's saying, oh, just release the Epstein files. And now Epstein's brother is saying that he heard the word that they are scrubbing the Epstein files right now. So to erase all the Republicans from them. They're in somewhere in Virginia right now, scrubbing the Epstein files to erase the Republicans from the Epstein.
What I do want to talk about is I've been recently told the reason they're going to be releasing these things and the reason for the flip is that they're sanitizing these files. There's a facility in Winchester, Virginia, where they're scrubbing the files to take Republican names out of it. That's what I was told by a pretty good source.
It's just, this shit is terrible. It's terrible, and it's sad that Stephen A. Smith continues to be loud and wrong. When Biden was in office, there was still an open case. Even though Epstein had got locked up, there were still open cases going on. There was still open investigation. He was not able to release those files.
This is Julie K. Brown. She's the Miami Herald journalist who actually broke the Epstein case wide open. She spent years tracking down the victims, exposing the corrupt plea deal, and her reporting directly led to Epstein's rearrest and Ghislaine Maxwell's prosecution. She won 2 George Polk Awards for her work. She literally wrote the book on this case. And here's what she says about why Biden didn't release those files. Maxwell's criminal case was open during the entire Biden administration. She wasn't convicted until late 2021, and she immediately appealed. You don't release evidence files when a case is still under appeal and when the FBI might still be investigating other suspects. So let's get this straight. The actual journalist who forced this case back into the spotlight is explaining basic legal procedure, while sports commentators are playing armchair prosecutor and acting like there's some sort of conspiracy. And here's what's wild. Julie Brown points out that if you're still investigating other powerful people who helped Epstein, releasing your files is like showing your poker hand mid-game. You're literally telling potential criminals exactly what evidence you have. And this is the problem with podcast culture, isn't it? Everyone's got a microphone, everyone's got an opinion, but expertise, that's apparently optional. Julie K. Brown spent years of her life hunting down victims, building sources and navigating complex legal systems. Stephen A. Smith spent 15 seconds forming an opinion and then broadcast it to millions. So here's a thought. Maybe before we accuse the Biden administration of covering up Epstein files, we should ask the one journalist who actually knows this case inside and out what she thinks. And she thinks you don't understand how criminal investigations work. But hey, what does she know, right? She's only the person who brought down Epstein.
But now that President Trump, who ran on releasing the Epstein files, is in office, that should have been the first thing he did. Nobody asked you for Dr. Martin Luther King's files. His family actually asked you to give them to them so that they can look over it. But you didn't care. You did the same thing with JFK. You didn't care. Now all of a sudden, it's a hoax. You ran on a campaign promise to release the Epstein files, and now it's a hoax. And Stephen A. wants to know why didn't the Democrats do it? Stephen A., you don't get tired of being loud and wrong. Right? You don't get tired of having to come back and retract the statement because you didn't do any research. Like, you ain't tired of doing that dumb shit. You ain't tired. It only take 5 minutes. Like, you got Google, they got ChatGPT, they got all types. It takes 5 minutes. You on a show, you make millions of dollars. You got producers, you have a staff. Do you ask anybody, hey, look this up before I start talking about it? Before I say something out of my mouth, I want you to look this up and get some information. It takes about 5 minutes to do research. Just that, not even a deep research, just the minimum. If you did the minimum research, half the shit that you say, you would never have to come back and apologize and say, oh, I found this out. You don't get tired of that same dumb shit. You don't understand what journalistic integrity is. Your journalistic integrity is constantly being questioned. I seen that they let you go from a show on ESPN. I don't know what that means. But I know that as of late, your journalistic credibility is in question. It's in question because you're not even doing the little bit of research, just the minute bit of research that it would take to get the answers to the shit that you're saying. A kindergartner can dispute the claims that you make lately. You're just becoming lazy because you have a platform and a voice, and you know that whenever you say something, people are going to pay attention. You are misusing a privilege. That is a privilege that you've earned, but now you're misusing it. So what happens is you're devaluing your own voice, Stephen A., because you don't even want to do 5 minutes worth of research to debunk your own shit that you keep coming out with. People who don't have any level of journalism experience that you have are able to debunk 90% of the shit you say in 2 minutes. You don't think that's crazy? Like, you ain't tired of just keep saying the dumb shit and then you get mad when people check you and say you it seems like you're an agent and you don't get tired of it? You gotta be tired of it by now.
Whoopie dee scoop whoop poop.